The original My Big Fat Greek Wedding is one of the most financially successful movies ever made, earning over $360 million worldwide on a $5 million production budget. Of course, there would be sequels. The only mystery is why there haven't been 5 or 10 by now, rather than just 2. The films are formulaic, but it's an appealing formula, like a family recipe for a comfort food dish that isn't going to win any Michelin stars, but satisfies because it reminds you of being loved and taken care of. The biggest hurdle to creating another chapter in this family saga was the absence of Michael Constantine, who died at 94 after 2 performances as the Portokalos family's gruff, impulsive, but big-hearted patriarch, Gus. Vardalos follows the path of many smart franchise filmmakers who have to deal with the death of a primary cast member and leans into the immutable facts of life. We learn that Gus wanted the extended family to convene in the Portokalos clan's ancestral home, a small village in Greece, and reunite with surviving relatives from the old days, but he didn't live long enough to see his dream come true. The craftiness of the wedding films lies in how they introduce multiple conflicts that aren't conflicts and then resolve them without the characters having to sacrifice much of anything. The major and minor characters are all fundamentally decent, though sometimes grating or insensitive in a lightly comic way, and tend to be related to the same intensely loyal family by blood, marriage, or deep friendship. They talk about the problems they're saddled with, but you don't see them working hard to solve them or losing anything they can't get back. Often, the situation is resolved by having another character take care of it without much evident exertion. And in My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, the movie is filled with variations of this. The town is depopulated when the family arrives, and we find out it's because the springs that used to flow through the town are stopped up. By the end of the film, they're running again after a montage of action that lasts about a minute and looks so simple that you wonder why the townspeople didn't do it already. We're told that, in the old days, Dad had 3 dear friends. They're pictured in a leather-bound memory book that he kept as a young man before he came to America. Tula frets about locating them so they can attend the reunion. But after several days of fruitless wandering around the local marketplaces and homes, she gives up in despair. But of course, the 3 friends ultimately do attend, and their attendance comes about less from clever detective work than pure luck. The younger generation have their own non-conflict to not deal with. Tula and her husband Ian bring their daughter Paris, and they're joined by Paris's thwarted college suitor Aristotle, a sweet, decent young man who nonetheless attaches himself to the family. What came between them turns out to be a negligible, entirely self-inflicted, "it's not you, it's me" contrivance, and it's solved in a brief conversation near the end of the story that could have just as easily happened when they were forced to sit next to each other on the flight. Lainey Kazan walks a tightrope created by Vardalos' script, which has the now middle-aged kids worrying that Maria is in denial about the onset of Alzheimer's disease. Maria isn't there yet and pranks them a couple of times, but the film ultimately does concede that a hard reality is right around the corner. Ian seems to embody the film's ideal of popular storytelling. He's the perfect man, funny and goofy and energetic without ever becoming annoying, handsome and fit, but never preening or self-regarding, solid in a crisis, and naturally empathetic without seeming like he's trying too hard. Nothing about him is unpleasant or objectionable. He is acceptable to all life experiences and cultures. There was no real conflict about his and Tula's relationship in the first film either, if we're being honest. This second sequel is escapist in a next-level way. It escapes from drama as well as life. The Greek Tourism Board is going to love it. With all that being said, we may be biased, but we love the movie, and we think you will too. It gives us that warm feeling of the first 2 movies, and also showcases the beauty and allure of Greece. So go see it with family and friends today. And as always, thank you for taking this journey with us. We'll see you next time.